Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy with Via, and today is December 14th, 2021. Unless you're going to see this on replay, in which case it's whatever day it is for you. Let's start the way we always start with static rest, 7 minutes. Static rest, just so you can slow down. Put your legs up on a couch or a chair. You can put something under your head, or you just want your cervical spine to be in neutral. And start to notice your breath. So start to notice your breath. And just stay as much as you can with your attention on your breath. Go ahead and stay where you are. 7 minutes are up. Just roll your head from side to side. This is a cervical spine rotation. About 4 or 5 sets. And come back to center. And don't move anything but your eyeballs. And shift your eyeballs to the right for vagus nerve reset. Waiting for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs only to the left. And wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Do 2 more sets, right, left, without my cueing. And when you're finished, we'll do head ramping. You could put a set of therapy balls under your head if you'd like, under the occipital ridge. You could put a sponge ball. You can stay with your interlaced fingers behind your head. Whatever you do, whatever position shape you take, or prop you use, just press the occipital ridge, which is the base of the skull, press it into the floor, the mat. Your chin will drop and your skull, the back of your skull will move away from your shoulders. Hold for a couple breaths and then release, and do that 5 more times. Finish up. We're going to do Viloma breathing. Your hands are at your side by your hips, or you put your hands on your belly, either way. But the breath work is on your in breath, divide it into thirds. So after each third, after each sip of air, pause and then do the next one. So it's inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale, pause. You've filled up the entire lung area. And now exhale. Inhale, 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 and one big exhale. Number 3, inhale, 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 and exhale all the way out. Last one, inhale, 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 and exhale all the way out. go ahead and take your chair and move it out of the way so that your knees are bent and your feet on the floor. We're going to do a bridge hypopressive. So knees are bent, heels are on the floor, feet are up toward the ceiling, so you've dorsiflexed your ankles. Your arms are by your hips. You're going to do 3 breaths and then no breath. While you're holding your breath out and I'm counting to 15, you're going to lift your hips and take your arms overhead. This is a bridge hypopressive. At the end, you're going to inhale, arms down, and then exhale. No, it's hips first, I guess. Inhale. Which is it, Kathy?
I think it's hips first and then arms.
Yep, that's it. Okay. That's, all of a sudden I couldn't, like, which was it? I don't think it matters that much, but
I don't think so either.
3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. No breath. Lift your hips, arms overhead. 1, 2, no breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stop when you need to. 13, 14, 15, hips down and arms down. Do it again. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out. No breath. Hips up, arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come on down if you haven't already. We're going to do some basic hip movements. So staying supine, basic hips. And these are bent knee, leg lifts. So the knee is bent. Take the right knee towards the chest and then bring it back down. And let's do 5 on this side. Stay on that side. You can alternating is an option too, but today we're going to stay on the right side for 5. This is a fundamental or functional movement at the hip joint. Slow it down and you'll teach your brain to move your body this way. Let's do one more, 6. Let's do 6. And switch sides. So the left leg comes up, the knee, and then down you go. And number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to do bent knee side drops. So starting on the right, just drop your right knee out to the right. If you start to feel it in the crotch, right, along the seam there, you've gone too far. You're using your hip flexor. This is an adductor, adductor movement. So drop it out to the right and then bring it back. Don't let it become a hip flexor movement. That's when you need to stop and come on back. Slow it out, down. And listen to your own body. Don't go too far. This is a hip rotation. When you've done about 6 altogether, switch sides. Slow it down. So in this practice, slow is better. If you meet pain, stop. Or make it smaller, or stop altogether. Or ask for help. Ask us to find you an alternative. And when you're finished there, put a sponge ball between your hips, between your thighs.
Between your hips.
Hips, between your thighs. Keep your feet on the floor and windshield wipers with sponge ball. So you're pressing into the sponge ball while you're moving side to side. And go ahead and finish up right and left. And come back, set the sponge ball aside. And we're going to do some basic shoulder work. So bring your arms up toward the ceiling, both of them, palms facing each other, and you're going to protract and retract your scapula. So this is a scapular movement. It's not an arm movement, but as a result of the scapula protracting, which is pulling away from the spine, and retracting, which is going back towards the spine, the arms move. It's a functional scapular movement. So remember to keep the movement in the scapula. It's not an arm movement. You're not trying to reach the ceiling. You're just trying to move the scapula. And then come back down to a retracted position, and then go ahead and protract. So go ahead and protract the scapula away from, and now bring your arms overhead. So it just makes it easier to bring your arms overhead if you've protracted your scapula first. Bring them back. And overhead arms again. Remember, start from a protracted scapular position and then overhead arms. And another fundamental arm movement. And when you're finished, bend your elbows and bring your arms into cactus. So yes, like that. Bend your elbows, bring your arms out. If you can't get them down to the floor, then put a brick or a blanket underneath them so that they're resting on something. This is a resting position. It's not a, and we're going to stay here for 40 seconds. It's not dynamic, it's a static resting position. It's a chest opener. You can take this position also when you're doing static rest in the beginning of the class. Or if you're at the end of the class for Yoga Nidra. Okay, come on up to floor seated, to a floor seated position. You can do cross-legged, You could do a Z position. You can do a kneeling or a hero position. Kathy's demonstrating all of those. We're just going to do our traditional side bend, floor seated side bend, taking your right arm out to the right, slide it along the floor, bring your left arm up and over. 40 seconds. I still can't bring my left arm up in that position. So I'm just I'm being like a teapot.
So you're adapting.
I'm adapting. If anyone wants to see. Now go ahead and then bring your elbow forward. I can do that actually. Bring your elbow forward. And find a big stretch along the back of your armpit. Bring your elbow up. Bring your torso up. Switch to the other side, left arm along the floor. Right arm up and over, 40 seconds. So side bending. Cervical, no, not cervical, thoracic side bending. Bring your elbow forward. Find another stretch, armpit stretch. Elbow up and torso up. Thoracic spine twist. Take your left hand, put it on your left knee. You could change the direction of your crisscross. And then left hand, right knee, right arm behind you, spider fingers. Rotate the thoracic spine. You could move your head to look forward or to look to the right, either one, or you can go between those 2 points with your head, or you can leave your head in one position, a static position, and then slide your rib cage side to side. Unravel yourself all the way to the other side. Right hand on the right knee, left hand behind you, spider fingers.
Right hand on left knee.
Right hand on left knee.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be right. That would be correct. And then remember, you have the 2 options. You can be moving your head, or you can be sliding your rib cage side to side. Sit tall. And come all the way back. And do let's do stacked knees and a wrist twist. Let's do the old one we used to do all the time. Bring your arms out in front of you. The palms are back of the palms facing each other. Then take the right hand up and over and interlace the fingers, and then sit tall and drop your wrists and bring them around towards your chest and up to your chin. And we're going to stay here 40 seconds. Sit tall and enjoy. I hope all of you were able to get to something similar to a stacked knee position. good for posture, good for releasing sciatic nerve, piriformis muscle, lower back. And unravel everything, including your stacked knees, and switch to the other knee on top. And start again, arms out. This time the left hand up and over. Interlace the fingers, bring them down towards the chest, up to the chin. Sit tall, 40 seconds. And if this is too much for you, you could do another, some other position, or you could sit up on a stack of pillows or blankets, which might help. And unravel out of that and come to standing for a back bend at the wall. So while Kathy is setting up for the camera, if you want to, you can already be doing this if you know what it is, and you can find your way there. I'm going to go over to, I like to do mine, not at the wall. I do it on the railing. Well, maybe I won't do that. I'll stay here and talk to you. Okay, Kathy's back's to the wall, arms come up and over. Back bending and breathing and opening the chest and strengthening the upper back, the extensor muscles along the upper spine. And keep breathing. Yeah, when I'm in Kathy's class, I do it on a railing that I have in my Pilates equipment. Unravel that. And now we're going to do the spinal twist here at the wall. So starting with the right side, the right leg forward, the left leg back. Bring your arms up and then take your arms and put your hands on the wall. You don't have to put your elbows on the wall. I know Kathy cues elbows against the wall, but I think the idea is to get a nice rotation in the thoracic spine. And so however you position your hands, let your hands help you do that. So if it helps to have your elbows on the wall, put them on the wall. But if it doesn't help, you just put your hands on the wall. And just enjoy the rotation here. Slowly come out of that and go to the other side. Left leg forward, right leg back. Bend your elbows. Rotate your thoracic spine to the left. And breathe. So the movement here is the rotation of the thoracic spine, in this case to the left. This is a bone building pose, and we time it for 40 minutes, 40 seconds, sorry. 20 seconds. If I have time, I'll tell you why, but some of you probably have heard it. Come on out of that. We're gonna keep standing and do some heel lifts. So you need a chair or you need a something, because heel lifts are kind of a balancing movement. So you may want to put your hands on the back of a chair. Have a therapy ball nearby. So your hands are on a chair or near the chair, and all you're doing is lifting your heels up and dropping them. You can start doing this without Kathy, if you know this movement. Get a few more benefits from a little longer heel lift. Just lifting and lowering and lifting and lowering. If you were outside at a park, near a railing and near a curb, you could actually drop your heels, lift them and drop them below the curb. Yep. And then go ahead and put a therapy ball between the heels, between the inside of the heels, as far back as you can keep it. Trap it there between your feet and go ahead and do some more lifts, heel lifts with a therapy ball. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is balance on one foot. So on this one, you have lots of choices. The most simple thing to do is stand on both feet and then bend your knee and lift it up towards your face. Farther, more, yeah, more like that. And then that's one. And then you can drop that and you could tuck your toes, hook your toe, big toe and your next toe at your ankle. That's another way to do this. Or you could just lift your leg behind you, or you can go into tree pose. So any of those. Look ahead at a point that's static, that's not moving across the room. Find your balance, find your one-footed balance, and touch the chair if you need to or not. Stand up tall and breathe 40 seconds. You're building bone density in the standing leg at the femur. Well, all along the bone. Switch sides. And remember, choose how you want to balance. Okay, come down, shake your feet out and start again. We're going to balance again. Standing on the, did we start standing on the right leg or?
We started standing on the left leg, at least I did.
Okay, let's stand up. And
Oops, I gotta fix it.
fix your gaze on something across the room. It'll help you stabilize. Remember, you have stabilizers inside and outside. So you actually should feel some of the balancing, stabilizing that happens inside your body. Lucky you. The more you do this, the more balance you have. Switch sides. Standing on the right leg. Lifting the other leg. Come on out of that. The next thing we're going to do is a split stance short foot. This is, and we're going to do it and try to make a connection between the feet and the core. Your core muscles at the transverse abdominal, the bottom of the core. So just walk your right foot forward. So you're standing on 2 feet, walk the right foot forward. And lift the toes and then grab your abdominals. So find your abdominals as low as you can get. Now lower your toes. They're long, keep them long and press them on the floor. And stay here. And try to bring your attention to the arch at the bottom of your foot and then to the core. So to the core, to the arch, to the arch, to the core. The toes are soft and long and pressing into the floor, but gently and softly. Switch sides. Bring the left foot forward. Lift your toes. Engage your core. So activate the core. Now drop the foot. Keep the toes long and soft. Press them into the floor. Now bring your attention, switch your attention between your arch, the arch in your bottom of your foot, and the core. And keep going, attending to one point and then the second one. Why is your toe moving, Kathy?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a twitch I have. It's a nervous twitch.
Okay, don't move your toes, you guys.
I got distracted. Yeah.
So remember, you're moving your attention between the core and the arch. And now come out of that and shake your feet and then find a place to walk backwards up and down your mat or just on your floor. Walk backwards, turn around and walk backwards again. And do this 2 more times. And then find your way, finish up and find your way onto the floor for butt walks along your mat. So everyone's going to do this a little differently, I think. So, you know, I see some people with their knees really bent and some people with their knees not just bent just a little. So however you can do it, you're walking, butt walking. This is actually, this is something I used to do years ago when I was a teenager and was worried about my butt being too big. I don't know why I ever worried about that, but I can remember doing this, but something similar. But one of my masseuse I had recently was telling me that this is a good way to release the sacrum. So we're going to release the sacrum with the butt walks, and then we're going to release the sacrum with therapy balls. So, and as soon as you do a couple more rounds of butt walking. And actually, you could be butt walking back and forth, forward and backward.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mentioned before, when you're walking back, obviously you can't do both because the other one is a walking forward position, but here you
I'm
can.
just thinking about it. I hope you don't ask us to backward.
Well, it's an option. It's an option, but it's not. Now I want you to find your therapy balls. If you have big ones, I'd use those alphas.
These?
Yep. And I want you to put them at your sacrum. So this is a little bit below your lumbar spine and a little bit above your tailbone. And the first thing you're going to do is nothing. You're just going to stay there after you find this position. And then you're going to try to find an up and down position. So, but we're moving now, moving up. You might have to use your feet. Move a little forward, up and down. Over the balls. It might be small. And after you've done that for a while, try to do a side-to-side movement. This is probably easier, but you still might need your feet. Side to side. As far out to the side as you can go. And then come back to center and just drop your right leg out. The right bent knee out to the side. And then come back up. Drop your left knee out to the right, left. And keep going right and left. You can feel maybe the core work as well. Your transverse abdominal muscle wants to help and does help. Keep you stable while you move the knee. And finish up. Remove the balls, bring yourself to your prone position on your belly. We're going to do, this is basically a Pilates back extension. Your hands are at your side, palm up. Remember that if it's hard for you to lift your chest and your head and your shoulders and your neck, then just lift your arms. You could do this instead of the full position. And you still will get some benefits for the upper back, which is what we're working on. Go ahead and take an inhale to prepare, and then an exhale to lift everything up. We're going to stay here for 40 seconds, or as long as you can stay, which might be less than 40 seconds. If you'd like to, you can lift your chest up a little higher. And remember that your chin is tucked. And you've done essentially what is a head ramping position with your head. Stay here and breathe and feel this. This is the best exercise for strengthening the upper back. And it might be very small for you. You might not get this high up off the floor, but it still is the best exercise. Inhale and exhale and come on down. We're going to go into airplane. So the same thing. But eventually your arms will be out in a T. Take an inhale to prepare. Yep, like that. Inhale to prepare and an exhale to lift. Inhale, arms out in a T. And an exhale. And stay here as long as you can. And if you if you're able, you can lift your chest up just a little bit more higher. And breathe and come out of it when you need to. And I'm going to stay here timing for 40 seconds. And just be proud of yourself for, this is probably the hardest pose in the class, I'm thinking, for a lot of people anyway. Go ahead and inhale to prepare to come down, and then exhale and come all the way down. Bring your arms out in a T. Look to the right, take your right leg up and over your left leg. Keep your shoulders, arms, armpits on the floor. You can do anything you want with your hips and your legs. And you may get a chiropractic adjustment of your upper back, your thoracic spine in this movement. All by yourself. You don't have to go to the chiropractor. Come on back. Look to the left. Bring your left leg up and over your right leg. Keep your chest, your armpits, your arms on the floor. Do anything you want with your leg. Once you've gotten that top leg over the other one, do anything you want. You can make circles. You can bend your knee. on back. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. Remember, you could put your legs back up on a chair. In fact, I recommend it. You may want to put a blanket over you. You want to be warm and comfortable. You may want to put a washcloth over your eyes. I like to do that. You're going to start by paying attention to your breath. Watching your breath and watching the abdomen rise and fall. And now bring your attention and your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 51-point guided yoga nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to stretch and wiggle. Extend your legs along the mat, extend your arms overhead, wiggle and stretch your whole body, trying to create a little more space at the waist. And then wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and your wrists in one direction. And then the other. Hug your right knee to your chest. Hug, hug, hug. Apanasana. And then hug the left knee to your chest. Hug both knees to your chest. And rock from side to side. Massaging the lower back. Whenever you're ready, roll all the way over to the side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Take a minute here to thank yourself for bringing yourself to this class, to this self-care project. And also thank your cells. They're thanking you. So if you pause here, you can probably feel that. And then use your top hand to press it into the floor and bring yourself up to seated. I'm going to remove the spotlight. I'm going to take the gallery, put myself on gallery view, and you can put yourself on gallery view. And here we are. Prayer pose, pressing the palms together. And now softening all of that. And then go ahead and lift your occipital ridge away from the shoulders so that you can roll the skull across the top of the cervical spine, the C1. Just rolling and nodding, bowing, knowing that each of us is a light and that all of us are one light. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to stop.
Thank